Han Li's thoughts churned like a storm as he upheld his spirit domain and searched desperately for a path of escape. He could easily shatter the time law restrictions blanketing the area, yet his heart remained fixed on one question. How had Gu Huojin been able to track him so precisely? Without uncovering that secret, flight would mean nothing. With his cautious temperament, Han Li was certain he had left no trace behind. If so, the flaw could only lie elsewhere. A sudden realization struck him, and he turned sharply toward Jintong. Jintong! Force out the law powers Xuanyuanjie left within you! She froze for an instant, then comprehension dawned. Without hesitation, Jintong sat cross-legged and began expelling those alien laws from her body. The moment she withdrew her support, the pressure on Han Li surged. Alone against Gu Huojin's might, dozens of azure bamboo cloud swarm swords burst forth, scattering through his spirit domain. They transformed into towering lightning pillars, bracing the descending golden hand and finally halting its fall. Gu Huojin frowned, but before he could act, the palace behind him trembled violently. His expression darkened as he swept his sleeves, golden light weaving into a vast yin-yang diagram that sealed the palace and calmed the disturbance. In that fleeting moment, Han Li gained a breath of respite. He glanced toward Jintong, worry flickering in his eyes. Though she was now a Dao ancestor, Xuanyuanji's deeply rooted law powers were proving stubborn. To aid her, Han Li waved his sleeve, casting down streams of golden light that formed a time array beside her, eerily similar to the celestial time array. Once activated, it resonated with the spirit domain, accelerating time within nearly 10,000-fold. High above in the heavenly court, Gu Huojin continued suppressing the palace with one hand while tracing a circle with the other. A colossal golden ring materialized around Han Li's spirit domain, while a band of golden light clamped around his waist, crushing him as though a mountain had fallen from the heavens. Fury burned in Han Li's eyes. Black patterns spread across his body, and in a heartbeat, he transformed into a fearsome devilish deity, 12 heads, 36 arms, towering over the sky. Yet the golden band held firm, pouring out relentless suppressive force. The deity roared. Black runes blazed, and terrifying physical strength and time law power erupted outward. The golden ring shuddered, forced back just enough to create a narrow gap. Seizing the chance, Han Li grasped the ring with all 36 arms and tore it apart. With a thunderous burst, it shattered into golden motes. The restraint vanished. Han Li shot upward toward the golden palm. His arms glowed with dense golden patterns as his time law treasures merged into his back, forming 5 radiant sigils. With a deafening roar, he unleashed 36 Great 5 Elemental Annihilation Fists. 36 blazing golden suns detonated beneath the palm. Heaven and earth buckled as waves of light swept across the immortal region, collapsing continents, spewing lava and soil into the sky, and fracturing space itself. Gu Huojin's restrictive time laws were wiped away. Han Li prepared to teleport, but another golden hand descended, slightly smaller yet undamaged. Shock flashed across his face. His full-powered strike had failed to cripple it. Before he could flee, Jintong's eyes snapped open. She spat forth a sphere of pure yellow light, earth law power refined to an unimaginable degree. It rose skyward, dissolved into space, and the golden hand faltered, instinctively grasping for that dissipating power instead. Han Li did not hesitate. Lightning flashed as he and Jintong vanished. They reappeared above a verdant forest, and Han Li felt the invisible pressure that had haunted them finally lift. Still cautious, he teleported several more times before stopping. We finally shook him off, Jintong sighed in relief, a feeling Han Li shared. The brief clash had revealed just how vast the gulf between him and Gu Huojin truly was. Survival alone was a blessing. I need to consolidate my cultivation in seclusion before facing him again, Jintong said. And you? There's no need to call me master anymore. Fellow Taoist will do, Han Li replied gently. She hesitated, but Han Li smiled. At our level, names mean little. Have I ever truly treated you as a mere spirit pet? Jintong laughed softly. Then what are your plans, fellow Taoist Han? I'll also enter seclusion, Han Li answered. His self-corpse soul demanded resolution, and with Gu Huojin watching, only greater power could safeguard his life. Delighted, Jintong proposed cultivating together within his accelerated time-space, and Han Li agreed. When she cautiously mentioned his plan to sever the self-corpse soul and advance towards pseudo-Dao ancestor, Han Li merely shrugged. Gu Huojin would never spare me regardless. That path is already sealed. She could only smile wryly. With the Heavenly Court and Gu Huojin entangled against the Reincarnation Palace, this was his best chance to grow stronger. Surveying their surroundings, Han Li sensed a vast immortal region beyond even his spiritual reach. A land of endless deserts rich in earth chi, dotted with fortress-like cities. The yellow sand immortal region, he murmured in surprise. One of the 500 medium immortal regions, famed for earth attribute resources, and lying close to the black soil and northern glacial immortal regions, the stage for their next chapter had quietly revealed itself. "Why do you look so startled?" Jintong asked, puzzled. "It's nothing," Han Li replied calmly. "If we're entering seclusion, no immortal region will remain truly safe. We'll go to the extra heaven sphere." With a sweep of his sleeve, golden radiance wrapped around them, and the two streaked upward into the void. Even after reaching the extra heaven sphere, Han Li continued flying for a long while before finally stopping. He carefully released his spiritual sense, confirmed the area was secure, then carved a secluded cave abode within a massive asteroid. Only then did he open the flower branch domain and step inside together with Jintong. Nangong Wan immediately hurried over, worry etched across her face. "Are you all right? I sensed extremely powerful fluctuations just now." Her gaze fell upon Jintong, and her expression softened into a warm smile. "You must be Jintong. Last time we met, you hadn't even taken human form. To think you've grown into such a fine young lady." She warmly took Jintong's hand, causing Jintong to stiffen slightly before offering a restrained nod. "Mistress Nangong." "There's no need for that," Nangong Wan said gently. "Your master is my husband, but that doesn't concern me. Given our different cultivation levels, simply call me by name." Jintong accepted this without objection, performing a polite salute. "Fellow Taoist Nangong." Returning the gesture, Nangong Wan turned back to Han Li. "So what happened just now?" "I ran into a few people," Han Li answered lightly. "It's already resolved. There's nothing to worry about." Jintong inwardly rolled her eyes. He spoke as if it were a trivial scuffle, yet he had just faced an essential Tao ancestor and the strongest being beneath the heavens in succession. Not long ago, they had nearly perished at Gu Huojin's hands. Still, she understood he was deliberately minimizing matters to ease Nangong Wan's concerns. Though unconvinced, Nangong Wan wisely pressed no further. "Waner, we've found a place for seclusion," Han Li continued, briefly explaining his plan. Her eyes immediately lit up. "Perfect! I've always wanted to see your accelerated time-space." Han Li smiled and released his spirit domain, activating the celestial time array. In an instant, time within the flower branch domain surged forward by over 100,000-fold. His mastery of time law had clearly deepened, making the space even more formidable. "This is astonishing," Nangong Wan exclaimed. "No wonder time is counted among the 3 supreme laws." Han Li chuckled. "Not everyone who comprehends time can achieve this. In the true immortal realm, I wouldn't dare claim first place, but second is well within reach. Even Gu Huojin may lack the ability to form a space like this." Jintong blinked in surprise at his rare levity, while Nangong Wan merely shot him an exasperated look. "Please excuse me, fellow Taoists. I'll go cultivate," Jintong said hastily, retreating deeper into the domain. Hand in hand, Han Li and Nangong Wan returned to the bamboo pavilion. "This seclusion, it's very important, isn't it?" she asked softly. Han Li nodded solemnly. "Then don't worry about me. Focus on your own cultivation," Nangong Wan said. Han Li produced a storage tool. "I don't know how long I'll remain secluded. There are pills, immortal origin stones, and resources inside. You should cultivate as well." After accepting it and offering a few words of caution, Nangong Wan departed. Alone once more, Han Li arranged the array for his corpse soul severance technique, placing the final earthly deity avatar into position. Layers of restrictions sealed the pavilion as he sat cross-legged and entered meditation. Before a nameless palace in the heavenly court, Gu Huojin examined a yellow bead radiating immense earth law power, satisfaction on his face. Suddenly, his expression tightened. He closed his eyes briefly, then frowned. "Gone without a trace? No matter. I've already reached the final step. Whether he escapes is irrelevant." Back within the Flower Branch domain, 3 days and nights passed as Hanli refined his body and mind to their peak. After one final inspection of the array, he turned inward. Within his consciousness sat another Hanli, identical in form, aura, and bearing. He looked up calmly. "You finally come!" Hanli felt an instinctive heaviness. This severance would be far more difficult than the previous two. He sat opposite his counterpart as a stone table appeared between them, 2 cups of tea resting atop it. "Have you come to sever me?" the self-corpse soul asked serenely. "That's right," Hanli replied, lifting the tea for a sip. "Then do you understand what a self-corpse soul truly is and how to sever it?" the other asked. Hanli fell silent. Knowledge of the self-corpse soul was scarce, known only to Tao ancestors or those at the peak of great encompassment. "I am yourself," the corpse soul said evenly. "To sever me, you must kill yourself." Hanli's eyes narrowed. "You're quite frank. When the time comes, you'll realize it regardless," the other replied. "Before then, even knowing this won't help you." A faint challenge hung in the air. "Would you kill your companions for this?" the corpse soul continued. "Jintong? Your wife? Your parents?" Hanli's expression darkened. Abruptly, he rose and struck, a towering golden fist descending like a mountain. With a sigh, the corpse soul caught it effortlessly. Their spirit domains flared simultaneously, perfectly mirrored, perfectly balanced. "You and I are equal," the corpse soul said calmly. "If you wish to sever me, first understand what self truly means." Hanli answered with action, unleashing torrents of lightning swordlight. Identical blades rose to meet them, and a fierce battle erupted. Half a month passed in the blink of an eye, ending only when both were utterly exhausted. With a cold snort, Hanli withdrew from his consciousness. An overwhelming weariness washed over him as he returned to his body. His soul was grievously taxed. Without delay, he closed his eyes, sinking into deep rest and recovery. Half a month later, Hanli's consciousness stirred once more, returning to that familiar inner realm. "So you've returned, fellow Taoist Han, seeking another bout?" The self-corpse soul greeted him with an easy smile, his aura whole and unblemished. "That's right," Hanli replied calmly. "But before we begin, I have a question." "Speak." "Last time, you said that to sever you, I must kill my friends, my wife, even my parents. Why?" The self-corpse soul merely smiled. "That answer must be discovered by you alone." Though he clearly knew the truth, he had no intention of revealing it. Hanli fell silent, then suddenly surged forward. His fist split the void, manifesting a colossal golden fist like a falling mountain. The self-corpse soul answered with a raised palm, waves of palm shadows rolling forth like tides. The golden fist smashed through hundreds of layers before finally dissipating. In that instant, lightning flashed. Hanli reappeared behind his foe, both fists striking down together. 2 great 5 elemental annihilation fists crashed forth, yet the self-corpse soul remained composed. Golden radiance burst from his body, forming a whirling barrier that absorbed the blows and flung them back, trembling before dispersing. "I see." The self-corpse soul chuckled. "You're tempering your grasp of law powers through battle. Your cultivation rose too quickly, leaving control lagging behind. If you wish to face Gu Huojin, this flaw must be mended. Fighting me is an effective method." Hanli said nothing. That was indeed his aim, along with probing the mysteries of corpse souls through endless combat. Even if answers were withheld, truth would surface through clash after clash. Thus, the battle continued. Hanli struck relentlessly, while the self-corpse soul deflected every blow with ease. "Be cautious," the self-corpse soul warned lightly. "If you fall here, this body becomes mine. Though in truth, little would change. We are one." Days passed before exhaustion forced an end. Then Hanli returned again, and again. This cycle repeated until 10,000 years slipped by like drifting dust. Within his consciousness, 2 indistinct golden figures clashed ceaselessly, movements beyond mortal sight. Fists, palms, sword chi, countless techniques filled the void. A thunderous boom erupted as both retreated. Golden light surged across Hanli's form. With a single punch, countless fist projections erupted from his entire body, each one a great 5 elemental annihilation fist. They wove together into an immense net descending from above, sealing all paths of escape. The self-corpse soul calmly pointed a finger. The world dulled to gray as an overwhelming force burst forth, shredding the net in an instant. Both were sent flying back once more, still evenly matched. The fire faded from Hanli's eyes. He did not pursue. "You're stopping?" the self-corpse soul asked. "There's no meaning left in continuing," Hanli replied, vanishing from the spot. Over countless battles, their relationship had subtly changed. Equal in strength, identical in temperament, they had forged a strange, friendly rivalry. Returning to his body, Hanli rested deeply. His mastery of time law had reached its limit. Further combat would yield nothing more. He produced a black, leather-bound ancient tome, an artifact acquired through chance in the Reincarnation Palace. It was said to be a journal of a Tao ancestor's descendant, recording fragments of that ancestor's life. What drew Hanli's gaze was the passage on severing the self-corpse soul. Though brief, it sparked new thoughts. The journal spoke of the Tao ancestor spending 1,000 years seeking the meaning of self, returning at last to the site of his first sect and meditating there for 100 days, perhaps a journey back to his original self, before ambition and power took root. Hanli had discussed such matters with Jintong over the millennia, but she had never faced corpse severance and could offer little aid. Closing the book, Hanli rose, resolve settling in his eyes, and stepped out of the pavilion. Nearby, Nangong Wan emerged from her own seclusion. Empowered by abundant origin chi and Hanli's support, she stood at the pinnacle of the true immortal stage, on the threshold of ascension. "Finished?" she asked. "Did you gain much?" "Very little," Hanli admitted. "I intended to travel. Will you come with me?" He took her hand. Her eyes lit up. "I've never explored the true immortal realm, of course." Once beyond the flower branch domain, the accelerated time dissolved. Jintong declined to join them, leaving the journey to the two alone. Nangong Wan gazed in wonder at the vast extra heaven sphere as Hanli carried her through golden light, recounting its history. After half a month, they descended upon a turbulent black sea, origin chi thin and restless. In the distance lay a small, heavily restricted island. "This is the Black Wind Sea," Hanli said softly. "That is Darkvale Island, where I first arrived upon my second ascension." He searched the waters for a long time, then departed with her. Flying slowly, he pointed out places tied to old memories. Days later, Black Wind Island came into view. Recognizing the symbols of Black Wind City, Nangong Wan asked quietly, "This is the city with teleportation arrays to the outside world, isn't it?" "Indeed. The years have passed, yet this place remains much the same," Hanli murmured, his gaze sweeping the familiar streets. The turmoil of the Grey Realm invasion had scarcely scarred this city. As they walked through its avenues, Hanli observed everything with quiet intensity. "What are you searching for?" Nangong Wan asked softly. "I am preparing to sever my self-corpse soul," Hanli replied. "The crux lies in the heart. I intend to retrace my path since ascension, to temper my mind by revisiting the past." Though such matters were beyond her understanding, Nangong Wan nodded, trusting him without question. They remained in Blackwind City for 2 days. Hanli guided her through old streets and forgotten corners, pointing out memories etched into stone and wind. Afterward, they passed through the soul-stirring winds and arrived upon the primordial wave continent. Nearly a year later, they returned to the ancient cloud continent and the blaze dragon Tao. The first sect Hanli had formally joined after entering the true immortal realm. What greeted him was ruin and silence. The once glorious sect now held only a handful of disciples, its halls weathered and bleak. With a sweep of spiritual sense, Hanli discerned the cause. The northern glacial immortal region had always been small, and the blaze dragon Tao's fall began with the calamity of the Balian incident. Soon after, those who entered the infernal Frost Immortal Palace were almost entirely wiped out. The Grey Realm invasion then delivered the final blow, leaving the sect in a pitiful state. Hanli sighed inwardly, cloaking himself and Nangong Wan in concealment as they ascended Crimson Dawn Peak, where he had once cultivated. The peak lay unchanged, untouched since his departure. Seated at its summit, Hanli revisited his past, his resolve to pursue the Tao of Time, his urgent search for Taoist Xie, and the ever-present dread of pursuit. He turned these memories over again and again, until his former self stood before him like a clear mirror. With each recollection, his heart grew more transparent, and the meaning of self slowly emerged. He remained there for half a month. Nangong Wan stayed beside him in silence. At sunset on the final day, Han Li rose with a faint smile. Nangongwan sensed a subtle yet profound shift within him. So this is the cultivation of the heart for great encompassment, she mused. Let us go, Han Li said, and they departed. At the border of the northern glacial immortal region stood primordial origin city, looming like a slumbering beast. Below it stretched a boundless yellow desert, while Han Li and Nangongwan hovered above in quiet observation. They later drifted leisurely through the primordial lands between the northern glacial and Black Mountain immortal regions, as if wandering on a casual tour. Black Mountain Immortal Region, Floating Cloud Mountains, Leisure Valley. Once bustling, the valley now lay deserted after the Grey Realm's ravages. Even Mo Wushui and Yu Ziqi were gone. Han Li and Nangongwan sat upon the familiar stone platform, sharing wine in silence. Black Soil Immortal Region, Illusory Smoke Swamp. As they passed over the swamp, mist parted effortlessly before them. This should be where the true mantra sect ruins were, yet there's no illusionary mist, Nangongwan noted. It only appears at certain times, Han Li replied. Though his appearance was unchanged, his presence was now keen and cutting, as if capable of severing all things. A suffocating pressure radiated from him, sending living beings within hundreds of kilometers fleeing in terror. Will we still be able to enter the ruins? Nangongwan asked curiously. They've already been swallowed by a spatial rift. They'll never be seen again, Han Li said, shaking his head. Then where next? The Grey Realm? She asked. We'll skip it, Han Li replied. Without the ancient passageway, reaching the Grey Realm was no simple feat. The Devil Realm was likewise forbidden, now firmly under the devilish monarch's control. His recent journey through memory had greatly refined his heart. By his own estimation, his chances of successfully severing the corpse soul were already high. As he pondered making the attempt, a streak of light appeared on the horizon. Such sights were common here, yet Han Li prepared to leave, unwilling to disturb his state of mind. Suddenly, his expression shifted. He turned and flew toward the approaching light with Nangongwan. The other cultivator halted in alarm, revealing a white-robed elderly man. Golden radiance faded, and the elder stared in disbelief. Li Feiyu! Long time no see, fellow Taoist Huyan, Han Li greeted warmly. You've advanced tremendously. I can't even discern your cultivation, Huyan exclaimed. I've been fortunate, it seems your own cultivation? Han Li asked. Huyan laughed. Cultivation and wealth are no more than dust beneath our feet. You remain as insightful as ever, Han Li said. Insight? I'm just drunk enough not to care, Huyan chuckled. Nangongwan watched in quiet surprise. This relaxed Han Li was one she rarely saw. And who is this lovely companion? Huyan asked. This is my Dao partner, Nangongwan, Han Li said. Waner, this is Taoist Huyan, an old friend. Greetings, fellow Taoist Huyan, Nangongwan said with a graceful salute. A pleasure, celestial maiden, Huyan replied, grinning. Shall we share a drink? Han Li suggested. Gladly. My wine is as good as ever, Huyan declared, nearly dancing with joy as he led them away. With Taoist Huyan guiding them, Han Li and Nangongwan crossed into a desolate mountain range where towering peaks pierced the clouds. The world's origin chi was thin, demon beasts were scarce, and the land felt empty and forgotten. A place long abandoned by cultivators. Once within the range, Taoist Huyan visibly relaxed. He recited poems to amuse himself and pointed out ancient landmarks, speaking with ease and leisure. At first, Han Li listened only casually, but Nangongwan followed with keen interest, offering insights of her own that earned Huyan's admiration. Gradually, Han Li joined in, sharing observations and exchanging views, and the journey unfolded amid light-hearted conversation. After wandering for nearly a full day, the trio arrived before an unremarkable mountain. Yet from afar, Han Li sensed its difference, not in form, but in the profound restrictions surrounding it, so subtle that only those above the high zenith stage might detect them. Taoist Huyan produced a white token and sent a beam of light forward, tearing open a white spatial rift. Without hesitation, he stepped inside, with Han Li and Nangongwan following close behind. In an instant, they emerged within a tranquil valley adorned with elegant bamboo structures. A bamboo forest and clear stream lay to one side, spirit beasts resting peacefully nearby, while cultivated spirit fields stretched across the other. Two figures tending the land looked up and approached. It was Yunni and Bai Suyuan. Yunni had reached late Golden Immortal, while Bai Suyuan had also entered that realm. Her aura hinting at deep and refined techniques, warm greetings were exchanged. Yunni spoke fondly of Taoist Huyan's frequent reminiscence of Han Li, while Bai Suyuan offered a respectful curtsy in gratitude for past guidance. Han Li waved the gesture aside with ease, lifting her upright through unseen force. Both women were startled, keenly aware that such effortless control far exceeded ordinary Haifil, high zenith power. Bai Suyuan glanced thoughtfully at Nangongwan, as if understanding the bond between them. After introductions, they ascended to a bamboo pavilion overlooking the entire valley. Seated within its simple yet refined interior, Han Li asked why they had chosen such a secluded refuge. Taoist Huyan sighed, recounting how the Grey Realm invasion had driven them from their former home and claimed Bai Fengyi's life before they finally fled to the Black Soil Immortal region. Han Li listened in silence. Countless immortal regions had suffered, yet the Heavenly Court remained preoccupied with its grand banquet, indifferent to such losses. Taoist Huyan explained that Illusory Smoke Swamp, once home to the true mantra sect before its destruction by the Heavenly Court, was now deserted, an ideal place to hide from the world. Han Li agreed, then glanced at Nangongwan. Their eyes met, and he felt the quiet weight of her longing. Her ascent to the immortal realm had been driven not only by cultivation, but by the wish to reunite with him. The journey had proven far longer and harsher than either imagined. Han Li rested his hand over hers, warmth passing between them. No words were spoken, yet resolve shone clearly in her gaze. When asked about his own path, Han Li concealed the truth, claiming long seclusion and a search for the true mantra sect ruins. Bai Suyuan then revealed that multiple factions, including the Heavenly Court, had once scoured those ruins before leveling them entirely. Han Li merely nodded, unsurprised. Turning the topic, he asked about Taoist Huyan's regressed cultivation. Huyan answered lightly, claiming injuries from an old battle, though Han Li sensed deeper matters left unspoken and chose not to pry. Laughing, Taoist Huyan dismissed further questions and proposed tasting the wines he had brewed over the years. Though Yunni worried over his casual tone, Han Li responded with equal ease, brushing aside formality. Relieved, Yunni smiled. Soon after, Yunni and Bai Suyuan led Nangongwan on a tour of the valley, while Taoist Huyan dragged Han Li to a modest bamboo hut. Inside, it was crammed with gourds, jars, and wine vessels of every kind. There, Huyan came alive, passionately describing his collection and brewing methods, more delighted than he would be by any surge in cultivation. Watching him, Han Li felt as though he had truly reunited with the Taoist Huyan of old.